Forget the glossy brochures. Forget the spring break cliches. The Mexico you think you know is a carefully constructed facade, a story told to tourists. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of turquoise waters and friendly smiles lies a nation of profound, often beautiful, contradictions? A place where ancient rituals are fueled by Coca-Cola, where getting a driver's license is easier than passing a high school exam, and where the line between a warm welcome and a playful jab is as thin as a corn tortilla. We're not here to just visit. We're here to understand. This is a journey to peel back the layers of Mexico, to find the soul of a country that is so much more than its postcard image. Let's uncover the real story, together. The first thing that hits you in Mexico City isn't the altitude, it's the sheer, kinetic energy. This isn't just a city, it's a living organism, a sprawling megalopolis of over 22 million souls breathing, striving, and colliding. They call it CDMX. It's the nation's beating heart, its economic engine, and the stage for its most dramatic contrasts. You feel it as you walk. Imagine strolling down the majestic Paseo de la Reforma, with its grand monuments and gleaming corporate headquarters, then turning a corner into the Colonia Juarez. Here, elegant Porfirian-era mansions stand shoulder to shoulder with Art Deco apartment buildings, some still bearing subtle cracks from the 2017 earthquake. A constant, silent reminder of the city's precarious existence atop a drained lakebed. This is the promised land for millions of Mexicans seeking opportunity, a magnetic pole for ambition. But paradise has a price, and here, the math often doesn't add up. A university-educated professional in a good job might earn around 4,000 a month. Yet, a modern, safe two-bedroom apartment in a desirable neighborhood like Roma or Condesa will easily run you 1,400 to 1,800. So how does a city of 22 million people function? How does anyone survive? The answer lies in a concept central to the Mexican psyche: ingenuity born from necessity. It manifests in a million ways that defy spreadsheets and official statistics. It's the family of 6 living in a 2-bedroom apartment, with complex schedules for sharing a single bathroom. It's the impossibly long commutes from sprawling, affordable suburbs like Ecatepec, with workers waking at 4 a.m. to spend hours on crowded buses and the metro just to reach their jobs. It's the vibrant, informal economy that is the true lifeblood of the city. The chianguis, or roving street markets, that appear in a different neighborhood each day, selling everything from fresh produce to pirated DVDs. The same street corner might host a man selling fresh, squeezed orange juice at 7 a.m., a woman serving tamales at noon, and a family running a bustling taco stand after dark. This isn't just business, it's a synchronized, unwritten choreography of survival. And yes, this ingenio permeates interactions with authority. That example of resolving a 100 traffic fine with a $50 contribution isn't just a funny anecdote about corruption, it's a symptom of a systemic problem. When a police officer earns less than the $400 a month, not enough to support a family in this expensive city, the mordida, or bite, becomes an unofficial, widely understood, and often necessary supplement to their income. It's a pragmatic, if flawed, social contract born from economic desperation on both sides of the transaction. This pragmatic flexibility extends to the very act of driving. The chaos on the roads is legendary. Lane markings are suggestions, turn signals are optional, and a symphony of horns provides the constant soundtrack, the reason for the shockingly high number of traffic fatalities. Over $17,000 a year becomes brutally clear when you understand the system. In some states, getting a driver's license requires no driving test. You show your ID, pay a fee of around 45 and walk out with a valid license in 20 minutes. The philosophy seems to be one of radical accessibility, but the consequence is a daily, high-stakes ballot on the asphalt, where defensive driving is an essential survival skill. Yet, amid this beautiful, frustrating chaos, there is an undeniable warmth. Mexicans prioritize family and community above all else. This isn't just a cultural preference, it's a vital economic and social safety net. And to truly grasp the forces shaping this megacity, we have to look to the nation's edges, to its two vastly different borders, which tell two vastly different stories about Mexico's place in the world. Let's start with the north, the 3,000-kilometer line it shares with the United States. This isn't just a border, it's one of the world's most dynamic economic zones, a symbiotic, and often parasitic, relationship made manifest. Cities like Tijuana in Baja California or Ciudad Juárez in Chihuahua are not remote backwaters. They are industrial powerhouses dominated by maquiladoras, foreign-owned factories that import raw materials duty-free, assemble them using Mexican labor, and export the finished products, usually back to the U.S. This model has created millions of jobs and turned cities once known for vice into hubs of global manufacturing. You see a cross-border culture here unlike anywhere else, with people living in Tijuana and commuting daily to work or school in San Diego, navigating two languages, two currencies, and two realities. However, this prosperity is built on a fault line. The very proximity to the U.S. that fuels its economy also makes it the front line of the narco trade. The violence mentioned in the video isn't random chaos, it's the brutal business logic of cartels fighting for control of lucrative smuggling routes into the world's largest consumer market for illicit drugs. For the average person, life is a paradox, more economic opportunity than in many parts of Mexico, but lived under a constant, low-level hum of insecurity. This tension has also given rise to one of Mexico's darkest chapters, the femicide crisis in cities like Juárez, where hundreds of women, many of them young maquiladora workers, have been murdered or disappeared over the decades, a horrifying symptom of systemic violence and impunity. Now, let's travel 2,000 kilometers south, to the border with Guatemala and Belize. Here, in states like Chiapas and Quintana Roo, the atmosphere is entirely different. The economy isn't driven by factories, but by the earth, coffee, cacao, corn, and a massive tourism industry built on the legacy of the Mayans and stunning natural beauty. The video correctly identifies that this region has lower levels of narco-related violence. It feels safer, more tranquil, but to say it offers better living conditions is to ignore the deep, systemic poverty that has defined much of the rural South for centuries. Chiapas, despite its incredible natural wealth, remains one of Mexico's poorest states. Here, a tourist sees vibrant indigenous markets and lush jungle. But many residents lack access to basic services like clean water, reliable health care, or quality education. This is the land of the Zapatistas, the indigenous guerrilla movement that rose up in 1994 demanding work, land, housing, food, health, education, independence, liberty, democracy, justice, and peace. Their struggle continues to this day, a testament to the unresolved historical grievances of the region. The more stable environment of the South is also the primary entry point for migrants from Central America, making it a place of transit and tension, where Mexico must grapple with its role not just as a nation of emigrants, but as a barrier to others seeking the same dream of a better life. The North-South divide isn't good vs bad. It's a choice between two Mexicos: the industrialized, dollarized, but volatile North and the culturally rich, more tranquil, but often forgotten and impoverished South. How do people navigate these complex realities? The answer lies in the intangible pillars of Mexican culture: family, faith, food, and the rituals that bind them together. The concept of familia is far deeper than the nuclear unit. It's an expansive, all-encompassing universe. It's grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, but it's also the compadrazgo system, the sacred bond between parents and godparents, a padrinos y madrinas. Your compadre is more than a friend, they are co-parents, a spiritual and financial safety net, a non-biological family member with profound obligations. In a country where state support can be inconsistent, your family is your bank, your hospital, your therapist, and your social club. This is why you see entire clans gathering in parks on Sundays, not as a special occasion, but as a fundamental, non-negotiable weekly ritual. And one of the most curious modern rituals involves a familiar red label. The point about Coca-Cola is spot on, but its role is a fascinating case study in globalization and cultural adaptation. In some indigenous communities in Chiapas, Coca-Cola has been integrated into religious ceremonies, used by shamans as a sacred offering to purify the body and soul. Its high sugar content is seen as providing energy, and the burp it induces is believed to release evil spirits. This wasn't a random choice. Decades of aggressive marketing, coupled with a lack of access to clean drinking water, made Coca ubiquitous, and sometimes safer, alternative. It's a stunning example of cultural syncretism, where a global capitalist symbol has been absorbed and repurposed into ancient local tradition, but the true soul of Mexico is found on its tables. To say Mexican food is celebrated worldwide is an understatement. It is a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage, and it is profoundly regional. Forget the generic Mexican food you know. In Oaxaca, the land of the seven moles, a single sauce can be a symphony of over 30 ingredients: chiles, nuts, seeds, chocolate. That represents a family's history in a single dish. In the Yucatan Peninsula, you'll taste the Mayan influence in dishes like cochinita pibil, pork marinated in a chiote and sour orange, wrapped in banana leaves and slow, roasted in an underground pit, a technique thousands of years old. In Puebla, you can try chiles en nogada, a patriotic dish of stuffed poblano peppers in a walnut cream sauce, topped with pomegranate seeds, representing the green, white, and red of the Mexican flag. And in the bustling streets of Mexico City, you'll discover that the humble taco is an art form. Picture yourself at a street stall, the scent of sizzling pork, and pineapple for tacos al pastor filling the air. The taquero shaves the meat with practiced grace from the vertical spit, a technique, the trompo, brought to Mexico by Lebanese immigrants. Food here is not just sustenance, it is history, migration, and identity rolled into one delicious, handmade package. For anyone thinking of staying longer than a vacation, understanding the practical systems is non-negotiable. This is where the tourist experience ends and the reality of temporary residence begins. Let's delve into three critical areas: visas, healthcare, and infrastructure. First, the visa situation. The video mentioned an e-visa, but for many nationalities, as including the US, Canada, UK, and the Schengen area, it's even simpler. You receive an FMM, or tourist card upon arrival, typically valid for up to 180 days. However, the recent influx of digital nomads has led to inconsistent enforcement, with some officials granting only 30 or 90 days. For those wanting to stay longer legally, there's the temporary residency visa. This requires applying from your home country and proving economic solvency, either a steady monthly income of around $2,700 or savings of about $45,000. It's a bureaucratic but achievable process that separates the casual visitor from the committed resident. Second, the healthcare system. This is one of the starkest examples of inequality in Mexico. There's the public system, primarily IMSS for private sector employees, which is chronically underfunded and overwhelmed. A friend of mine in Mexico City, covered by IMSS, needed to see a specialist for a non-urgent but painful condition. The wait time for the appointment was 4 months. Then there's the private system. Here, the quality is often exceptional, with state-of-the-art hospitals and doctors trained in the US or Europe. That same specialist could be seen the next day in a gleaming private clinic for a consultation fee of about $80. For this reason, anyone planning an extended stay must factor in the cost of robust private health insurance, which can run from $100 to $400 a month. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Finally, infrastructure. The internet in major cities is surprisingly good and affordable, but the most vital piece of infrastructure for daily life is the water system. Do not drink the tap water. It's not a suggestion, it's a rule. While the water leaving treatment plants may be clean, the aging pipe systems in most cities mean it's not safe for consumption. By the time it reaches your faucet, life revolves around the Garrafan, the 20-liter jug of purified water. You hear the trucks rumbling through neighborhoods with their distinct call, a familiar sound of daily life as people exchange their empty jugs for full ones. Another unsung hero is the ADO bus system. For long-distance travel, these first-class buses are clean, safe, and comfortable, connecting virtually every corner of the country, far more effectively than the nearly non-existent passenger rail system. It's a world-class service that showcases Mexican efficiency at its finest. Finally, let's return to where most foreign journeys to Mexico begin and end, the Caribbean coast. The video showcased Cancun and Playa del Carmen as idyllic getaways. And they are. But they are also living case studies in the complex, often heartbreaking, paradox of modern tourism. Cancun is not an organic Mexican city. It was an invention, conceived by government computers in the 1970s on a deserted strip of sand. Its hotel zone is a 20-kilometer bubble of all-inclusive resorts, fine dining restaurants, and nightclubs, deliberately insulated from the rest of Mexico. It's an astounding success of branding. But the real Cancun is the city across the highway, a sprawling, chaotic metropolis where the hundreds of thousands of hotel workers, waiters, and tour guides live, a world away from the luxury they service every day for wages that barely cover their rent. Playa del Carmen has a different, more tragic story. It grew organically from a small fishing village into a bohemian, global hotspot. This has brought prosperity, but it has come at a tremendous cost. The video mentioned rising housing costs, but the term is gentrification, and it is relentless and brutal. An apartment that a local teacher rented for $300 a month 5 years ago is now an Airbnb listed for $150 a night. That teacher now commutes an hour each way from a concrete suburb built far from the beach. The laid-back vibe has been replaced by the frantic energy of over-development. And there's the environmental price. The pristine turquoise water is under threat. The massive, often unregulated development has damaged the fragile Mesoamerican reef, the second largest in the world. And in recent years, a new plague has arrived: sargassum. It's a type of seaweed that blooms in massive quantities due to warming oceans and fertilizer runoff from as far away as the Amazon River. It chokes the beaches for months at a time, turning the postcard-perfect coast into a smelly, brown mess. It's not just ugly, its decomposition releases hydrogen sulfide and leaches heavy metals, creating an ecological dead zone. And now there is Tulum, the final stage in this evolutionary tale of tourism. Marketed as an eco-chic, spiritual yoga retreat, it has become a victim of its own Instagram-fueled success. Its co-hotels are often powered by diesel generators, their waste secretly pumped into the fragile cenotes, the sacred underground rivers of the Mayans, contaminating the very ecosystem they claim to cherish. The people of the Riviera Maya are caught in this paradox. They are warm and have embraced the opportunities tourism brings. But they are also watching their culture, their environment, and their homes be transformed, sometimes beyond recognition, by the very industry that sustains them. It's a paradise that, in its very success, is consuming itself. Our journey through Mexico reveals a country far more complex and compelling than any travel brochure could ever convey. It is not one nation, but many. A land of ancient traditions and hyper-modern ambitions, of profound community and stark inequality, of breathtaking beauty and heartbreaking challenges. To understand Mexico is to embrace its contradictions, to see the beauty not in spite of its flaws, but because of the resilience, the warmth, and the sheer ingenio they inspire. It is a place that doesn't just ask you to look, but to truly see. What surprised you the most on this journey through the real Mexico? Was it the role of Coca-Cola in religious rituals, the two-faced nature of its borders, or the paradox of its tourist havens? Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. If this story opened up a new perspective for you, please share this video with a fellow traveler who loves to go deeper than the destination. And be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating and misunderstood places. Thank you for exploring with us. See you on the next journey.